Happy Throwback Thursday, Massive. It's DJ Bubbles here. You done know. Always coming at you from the city of Toronto, Canada. You done know. So today, I sat down and I turned on the number one news station in Toronto, which is CP24 City TV, and they always bring local news of what's happening in Toronto and surrounding areas. So today I noticed that there's a particular story. It's like a follow-up to a gun battle that ensued outside of a recording studio in downtown Toronto, involving black youths of various ages, some under 18 and some the oldest in their mid to late 20s, you done know. So I sat here and I counted how many times the mainstream media aired the story over and over again. We heard the reporters' personal thoughts on the individuals involved. We heard the police superintendent speak on the matter. Like each time they shared the story, it was within 1 hour, the story repeated itself a total count of 8 times within the hour. Mainstream media wanted to share what happened. So I want you to take a look at what's hot on CP24 right now in Toronto, and I'll be right back,
Shocking
okay?
footage released by Toronto police on the night of a shootout on Queen Street West in November. It shows multiple people carrying guns, waving them in the air, and even dancing with them. CP24's crime analyst Steve Ryan has the latest on the investigation. Steve.
Yeah, but Corey, what I was so struck with when I saw that video that the police released today was just how casually these criminals handle firearms. And this is why they are so dangerous. Illegal guns are so dangerous in the hands of criminals because they have no respect for the carnage that a gun can cause. So we saw the video that the police released, a bunch of people inside of a recording studio on November the 11th at Queen Street near Sudbury. Now, there was a shootout. 100 shots were fired. Two different rival gangs, according to the police, were confronted one another. The police were on scene rather quickly that night, and they seized 16 firearms at the time. There was initially 8 people charged. One of those 8 people was a 16-year-old who is now facing a murder charge in an unrelated occurrence. 5 of those 8 charges were stayed by the Crown. That is not an uncommon thing. To make an arrest, the threshold is not that large. It's defined as reasonable grounds, which is defined as beyond mere suspicion. The threshold to convict is beyond reasonable doubt, and the Crown's vet cases. They are very responsible. They vet cases that the police lay charges in, and if they don't think that there's a reasonable prospect of a conviction, they withdraw those charges. So that's not really a big deal whatsoever. The police said today that 14 more people have been charged with a variety of different weapons offenses, and they are still looking for 9 others who have arrest warrants out for them. Here's more from Inspector Krawczyk, who we heard from today at the press conference. Let's listen.
This was a group of individuals who seemed alarmingly comfortable not only carrying illegal firearms, but also treating them like props at a party. You'll see they casually play with the handguns and rest them on their laps before dancing around like it's some kind of celebration. What started as reckless posturing escalated into chaos as we allege they began to fire back at a rival gang, wildly spraying bullets into the street without any regard for human life. It's shocking behavior that underscores the danger these individuals pose in our communities.
That was bang on what the inspector said there, and that's the difference between legal guns owned by people who abide by the law and they respect the power of a gun, and those criminals who get guns that come in from the United States. They are the ones that are causing the damage on our streets. So back to you.
Okay, we're reporting live outside of TPS headquarters. CP24's crime analyst Steve Ryan. Thanks a lot, Steve.
Okay, so you just saw the hottest topic on the news today in Toronto. I just want to let you know that the shootout they're talking about happened last year in November, and they have provided the public with a follow up of what's currently going on with the black individuals that were involved in that shootout in front of the recording studio here downtown in Toronto. I want to tell you that the missing Jamaican rugby player went missing in October 19 of 2024, and the very same news network CP24 did not air his disappearance. They waited a month before they thought his a Jamaican young man of 26 years old, no criminal record here in Canada or in Jamaica. They were not concerned that he disappeared after a good game of rugby at Lamport Stadium. So they waited a month before they aired it. In addition to this, when they did air his disappearance on CP24, there's never been any follow-ups to how the cases of his disappearance is going on. We never saw the Toronto police superintendent step out. We haven't seen the prime minister. We've seen nobody come out to give us a follow-up or to give their opinion like that reporter just did on the actions of those black male youths that were involved in a shootout. In addition to this, I give thanks that they at least did say Al Pacino Minot's name on the news, because to date we haven't heard city TV or any police superintendent mention missing black female Tatiana, missing black female Melanie, missing um, Kamani, 13-year-old Kamani, missing Michael. We don't hear those names called. We don't even see them get a chance or shared with the public to notify about their disappearance. But as soon as a black person is involved in any acts of violence or what have you, it's on the news. And mind you, when they are on the news, there is no kind of a validation like maybe they're suffering from mental illness or what have you, the way we would if an individual the color of my palm hand. Thank you so much, African News Diaspora. You taught me that one. That they don't make those excuses when they're mocha colored like me. So I want to say, sometimes people roll their eyes when you begin to educate and say, open your eyes to see what is happening or what has been happening for our black community here in the northern Canada. You done know is that our lives are totally not valued. And sometimes the messenger who wants you to open your eyes and be aware and be alert of where we stand as a community in this Canadian society. It feels like you're Noah. Everybody's laughing and carrying on with business as usual. But the answer that I'd love to see answered is why we haven't seen anything about these missing black youths, why they haven't given a follow up as to what has happened to the Jamaican rugby player Al Pacino Minot, and why do they feel it's so necessary to air on the news 8 times within the hour black people involved in violent criminal violence? You don't know. It needs to be studied, don't you think? I think so. So those of you who feel that maybe these people are just ranting or what have you. The facts are all there. You just got to visit Google and YouTube and do your research. What you do with the information that you do find, it's entirely up to the individual. As for me, I want to educate my community and let them know that if we don't think now is the time to get up and stand up and fight and demand that there be laws implemented against hating black people so much and discrimination, and the way the media also uses its leverage in society to continue to paint the picture that black people are nothing more than gun wielding criminals. I don't know when you think it will be the time. You don't know. Think about it. A great rest of your evening. It's DJ Bubbles, and I'm over and out.